So this is the overall continent that we have landed upon. So this little peninsula that juts out there to the west, right there at the little southern part, that little bay area right here, that is where landfall is. So from there, the party, we marched up to the northern coast right at the top here, and that is where the Blackmoor's Manor was. So if you remember that from, many umpteen, probably 15 weeks ago, that's where this was.
When you say it like that, it seems like we've been doing this a long time.
Yeah, and game time has probably been like 3.5, 4 weeks. In real time, we've been doing this 6 months. So, yay for us. At least we've been able to play consistently. So, from that point, Blackmoor, Lord Aldbrich, kicked us out due to Quinn's actions, but pointed us in the right direction towards Oldenburg. So we went down and followed this peninsula, not peninsula, but this little thing over to the right, to the east, and ended up right in this area, just north of there, in that little inlet. That is where Oldenburg is.
Okay.
All right, so Oldenburg is right in that area, and we say about 10 hours march north of that is where the Tavern on the Bluffs are, which is just just shy of this mountainous region here. And the brown areas are our mountains. So the road that led out of Oldenburg, and when we go back to the map of Oldenburg, the southern portion of the map, the bottom part of the map, is actually the coastline. So we're going to be heading out towards the southeast, and that road's going to kind of go down towards this general direction. So we're heading down towards this way. There's going to be some mountainous areas that we're going by. This is not a perfect map, but it works for our purposes. So our party is going to be traveling to the southeast-ish area. We were heading towards Castle Frederick, which, if I'm not mistaken by my notes, was going to be somewhere in this area to the east. It's going to kind of swoop down, kind of an arc, that road that we're traveling on, down this way. Now, we mentioned the capital. The capital right now is, to the best of Eldon's knowledge, because of how, again, he learned quite a bit at the Blackmoor Manor. He read a lot and was able to retain a lot of that information. So if you look towards the east area, there's this little area here. Looks like a little, kind of like a mesa style area. Everybody see where I'm talking about, to the east of that sea in the middle?
Yeah.
No, but I'm zoomed in. Hold on. Can you click it again? Oh, wow. Okay.
Way far away. Okay? So that is where the capital is. So we have things. There are many things to do. Now, we talked about, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about Eldon's hometown. We said that the Gnomish area was kind of to the southern part of this continent. We were talking about in this general area to the southeast. Now, we can deal with that with some more backstory if we need to move that around, but that's kind of where I was thinking.
Where's Ecleros?
Ecleros is somewhere to the west. Because remember, we got into a storm and we didn't really know how we got to this point. Let me go to the west a little bit here and see. For grins, until we say otherwise, we could probably say it's here, because that kind of gels with the other map that we had, which I'll pull up real quick. If we recall, this is what Ecleros looked like.
Okay.
So they kind of look similar.
Yeah, we'll just have to work on the backstory a little bit, just because
Right. I mean, it's
Why? What? Yeah, how I got on a boat that was over at Ecleros. So
now. No. Remember, you met us. Eldon met us in landfall.
sure.
Well, I mean, because I recall Quinn specifically reaching out and identifying what he thought was a child in a group of people that did not seem to be on a boat. But that's how it's again 6 months ago, so it's a while ago. But I was under the impression, which now that I'm saying it out loud seems wrong, but we'll work it out.
Yeah, that's something we can talk about some other time.
Hand Wavian.
So as the crow flies, are we from landfall to the capital? Are we talking 100 or well over 100 miles?
Look at you asking questions that I hadn't thought about.
There's
Roughly.
a scale at the bottom of the map. There's a scale.
Yeah, but I can't
Yeah.
read it.
Yeah, neither can I. Let me see if I can zoom in real quick.
Looks like it's 50, 100. And that's the top. Yeah, miles. The top
Yeah.
one's miles. Bottom one's kilometers. Goes from 0 to 1,000.
So we're looking maybe 2,000 miles. So it's a cross country, maybe a little more than that.
That's going to take some hand waving.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But remember, don't get caught up on going from here to here. Which I don't know if you saw the red thing. Worry about going from here to here. This general area. Right?
Just
Right.
700 miles.
Yeah. We said about
Good
4.
thing, Lynn. Good thing Siona can find food for us.
That is true. Now, I remember that she can find food, but some of y'all still have some rations left over, I think.
I guess I'll take the purified food and drink ritual for a while.
So given that my player had a greater scope of the journey to come over the next week, thinking it might have been 3 days there and 3 days back if we even were coming back, can I say I would have bought a week's worth of rations for all of the horses?
We can definitely say that. I was going to follow up on it before we went too much further, because we haven't yet done the last week on Ecleros. So, yeah, we can go ahead and get to that point. All right. So when we last left the party, they had spent a good bit of time talking and with Steve at the Rusted Basilisk, and went and looked at the where the Crimson Spine used to be, but is now mysteriously a prayer room, and ended up following some thieves' camp marks to find Swindles, which was a not so hidden front for a thieves guild, thieves place led by Rixie, the half orc. From there, Rixie pointed the crew to where he suspects that the armored convoy that is, again, also suspected to contain Quinn, or possibly something else, and pointed them that he believes that the convoy is headed towards Castle Frederick, which is over down to the southeast. On his way, he also mentioned that he'd sent a spy ahead, Rin, also known as the, what was that, the Maroon Hare. That was her code name. Rin, the Maroon Hare, was following after the caravan, or after the convoy as well. At that point, I recall the party pretty much agreed that they were ready to start the journey immediately, heading out of these gates here as well. But before we leave Aldenburg, I'll give you an opportunity to make sure everybody has what they were expecting to get in terms of sundry items or storefronts or what have you.
I would like to stop into the Steed and Feed and get, as far as your Mastiff, I think you're on your own for food there, but at least for the horses, Yeah, I'll get a week's worth of rations for them, and I'll buy a nice little saddlebag to keep all that food in.
Oh, very good, kind sir. Welcome back, Mr. Raz. As you recall, I'm Charlie Sneed from the Sneed Steed and Feed.
The horses seem to take a liking to your rations the last time. I believe I'll be getting a bit more of it this time.
Oh, very good, kind sir. We appreciate your return business.
Let's see. I think that's one saddlebag and probably a good silver's worth of those rations.
Oh, very good, very good. That will see 4 gold, silver. Let's just say, since you've come back, we'll keep it an even 4 gold, please.
I appreciate the discount. Thank you much.
Yes, and would you have any rations for a mastiff?
Well, as you know, as we can see, we've got we have a fine selection of mastiff. It'd be awfully odd of us to not be able to feed said animals. So yes, of course, Master Gnome, we have plenty of rations and feed for your mastiff.
Well, how about a week's worth?
Okay, so that'll come up to about, say, 10 copper to a silver. My abacus is in the shop. We'll say that's 2 silver overall.
Sounds fair to me. Probably saddlebag for my mastiff would be helpful for carrying, so that would be good too.
Very good. Now, I would recommend your mastiff is a little lower to the ground, so we may need to adjust those straps just a wee bit, but everything else should be just the same. Is there anything else I can interest you fine people in? Again, we have a mighty fine rowboat here that we're very proud of. If you need to be canoeing or anything. No takers on her? Okay, well, just the next time you come in, remember, we have a wonderful rowboat here.
I think Corn's got everything he needs.
Okay. Is there anything else that the party may need or want to pick up as we go? Because, as we talk, the journey is going to be, we'd say, about 4 to 5 days one way to where we suspect the convoy is heading.
Perhaps one more case of crossbow bolts from the good old aim stop.
Ah, yes. Good old aim stop.
No deposits today, just the
No.
crossbow bolts.
Well, Gary was very excited to see you walk in. He wanted to give an update that the upgraded version 2.0 of the hand crossbow is well underway. It was been well underway the first time, but with your pre-order, it puts that funding level much higher and much better. It takes us a few more days closer to finally getting the prototype not hand cannon, because that'd be overpowered, hand crossbow in your hands, kind sir. But if it's just the crossbow bolts, that'll be 1 gold, please, sir.
Thank you, Sir Gary.
Very good, very good. Anything else?
Nothing for me.
Yes, don't forget about the staff of flowers. In a pinch, that was also used to feed some of the steeds.
Thistles. They like thistles.
I mean, who doesn't like thistles? They stay crunchy in milk. So, everybody has gathered all of the sundry items and supplies that they need from the various shops. Again, securing with Steve that the again, I'm assuming that you want to keep the room at the Rusted Basilisk, but that may not be a safe assumption. Is that something you'll want to continue to do?
How do we feel about whether we'll be coming back?
I don't think we need to bother with it.
Are we keeping anything, storing anything in the rooms?
I'm taking everything I have with me.
And we lightened up the load with its terms of cash, coin, and such.
Retroactively speaking, then, let's say I bought the pack saddle instead of the saddlebag to hold the inventory.
Man, that sounds like exactly what you did.
Sounds good to me.
For each horse?
I think it'll fit in the back of one saddle. Now that all that damn copper's gone.
Oh, don't you wait. There's more copper for you.
Can't wait.
But as we recall, Steingrim's storefront, the Bloodbath and Beyond, is actively working on that big order for the church. So their ceremonial copper breastplates are well underway. So no room at the inn. Everybody's got all their stuff with them. It's packed up and heavy and ready to go. The steeds are ready. The mastiff is ready. Thongrim has set up his shop because with his apprentices and his family, and that seems to be good to go. So he meets the party again at the gates, and we are on our way. So the road travels down towards the south as the hours pass. The walls of Oldenburg slowly fade into the distance as you pass over the hills and through the forests. And you go. The path is fairly roadworthy. It's a well-traveled road. Dirt, not a lot of cobblestones, but still a fairly stable path that's again starts here at Oldenburg. And why can't I click? Because I had the wrong tool. So it's starting here, and we go, and we on our first day's journey. The road is fairly stable. You pass travelers here and there. There are clouds that are gathering to the west. It looks like they are blowing in towards the eastern front, or towards the east. But there are travelers. You see caravans and general people milling back and forth. There's not a lot of interaction between people, and you don't. It's not like a major thoroughfare. It's not. But you pass people every so often, so it's a fairly well-traveled road. Around midday, you come across what appears to be a traveling salesman with his cart heading towards Oldenburg, or at least he was headed towards Oldenburg. But Corin spotted that the cart appeared to be a little askew, and as the party gets closer to them, you notice that the cart has gotten stuck in a literal rut. And the merchant is out there. He's dealing with it, but he's cut his hand pretty badly while he was trying to push and shove the cart out of the way.
I'm guessing that's a no.
It sounds like it's a resounding no. Okay then. Well, you leave the merchant in his time of trouble, and don't even look back, and continue wandering down the road with a purpose.
Nope, I feel bad.
So, but that's okay. He's, maybe he'll deal with it. Maybe with his bleeding hands, he'll figure out a way. Maybe somebody else will.
Nope, I turn around. I feel bad.
Okay, well, Siona's turned around and just run back to the guys.
I
Yeah.
turn my horse around. Sir, do you need any help?
Well, I was hoping you guys, you seem to be a sturdy, healthy crew of adventurers. I was hoping that you might stop, but I figured you had more pressing matters that you didn't even give me a second glance. But I appreciate you coming back. What is your name, kind miss?
I'm Siona. What can I do to help you?
Well, as you can see here, my cart has been kind of stuck in a rut, if you would, and I tried to push and pull it, and, well, I just kind of sliced my hand open across the cartwheels here. Not doing cartwheels because, well, I don't do those kind of things, but trying to push it out, and I just sliced my hand open in the process, and it's really difficult to get this out. If you would, I'm really just trying to get to Aldenburg with my wares in time. It's a good trade route for me. So anything, if you guys could, if you and your crew could help me push this out so I can make my way, that would be fantastic.
I'd be happy to help. Can I see your hand first?
He looks at you a little nervously. Okay.
What did you do to hurt yourself like this?
Well, as I was, grabbing the spokes of the wheel, I pushed a little too hard. And you see, I didn't think about wearing some of my gloves. I just figured I could just shove it a little bit, and, well, I mean, the wood and the metal lashings to it just sliced right through the palm of my hand.
I'm going to put 1 point of lay on hands, and I'm going to bandage his hand up, too, for good measure.
Oh.
And then I'm going to go take a look at the cart.
Well, how can I thank you for that? Thank you for healing my hand.
Can you go pull on your horses? I'm going to see if I can lift this out.
Oh, yes, kindly. And he gets up and runs and gets up into the saddle, and you hear all right, ha! And he's trying to coerce the horses to pull a little bit.
And is it just one wheel stuck or 2 wheels?
It's just the one wheel. I think about, like, it's a covered wagon. It's got a lot of wares in it, a lot of goods. So it's a bit heavy, but it's something a good strength check might would be able to help get it out. So if that's let's see what you got here. All right, so I had a DC 15 on that. So you do still.
Ongram, I need you.
What seems to be the problem?
It's like he's here.
I can't even tell a difference.
Well, he's quieter. Can you help me with this?
Hold on. Remember, Elvin can now help. Wait a minute.
Well, if I have Thongrim helping and you guiding me, that would give me advantage plus a 1d4. So.
I agree with that.
Is that the plan?
Sounds like a fair plan.
What the crap?
A bit tired.
Well, no, you got the 1d4, so.
And since the DM already tipped his hand that it takes 15, I think we're okay with that.
Well, I was going to tell you what it was anyway, but she went ahead and rolled. Wow! And as you put your weight into it, and your strength, not your weight, because you don't say that to a lady, but you shove, and Thongrim puts his his oomph behind it as well, and the wagon breaks free and gets back onto the road. The horses kind of jump it out to the out of the rut and on its way. And the merchant is ecstatic and very grateful. Jumps down out of the saddles after he's free from the rut and comes back and says, "Thank you guys kindly so very much. I can give you a..." There's no difference whatsoever. It's like ashes here.
Got some mighty thews on you.
If there's anything I can do,
I roll my eyes.
I'm sorry. I seem to have gotten into the middle of something between you, Lady Siona, and this dwarfen. I'm assuming it's a dwarf. It's hard to tell with the pointy things. Is that a minotaur? What? I'm confused.
It's been an eventful week.
How do you like the new fashion, eh?
I can't say that I care for it, but I'm not all up on the current fashion things, so maybe I'll look into it when I get down to Aldenburg.
Sounds like a you problem.
Well, if there's, I would like to say thank you. I mean, I would gladly give you a 10% discount off any of my goods here. I have quite a few different potions and some other types of supplies. If you are interested. Oh, okay. Well,
Sorry. Yeah, we'll take a look at your wares.
is there anything in particular that I could maybe look out for you, so I don't have to, go through all of my wares? I mean, I've got quite a few things here, but I'd have to unpack some stuff. I'm not very good with an inventory.
What do you think would be of interest?
Well, what do I think would be of interest? Well, you've got a nice, interesting little swirly thing there on your breastplate, so I would think maybe some holy water might be of interest to you. Or perhaps maybe a healer's kit. We've got a great array of scented candles for the lady, or maybe for the gentleman there in the pointy helmet. But, as we've got parchment and quivers, and there's a climber's kit here. If now you have been quite helpful, and this is not something I offer to very, very many people, but I do have a few vials of acid and he gets a little quiet when he talks about this, a small flask of alchemist's fire. Well, normally I charge, it's about 50 gold, but since you've been very helpful, I'll be willing to part with it for 45 gold.
That's a bit steep for my taste.
How much for the holy water and the healer's kit?
Well, the healer's kit, we'll take 4 gold for it. It's normally 5. And the holy water is... Oh, hold on. I'm looking through my notes here now. So it's a flask of it. I normally sell it for 20, but I'll give it to you for 18.
Okay.
Well, thank you very kindly, miss.
Do you have any pretty fabric?
Oh, pretty fabric. Well, what do you mean by pretty?
I don't know. Something to wear around my neck.
Is it like this,
Like a scarf.
A scarf, okay.
Or something I could make a scarf out of.
Well, yes, we do have many bolts of fabric, both fine and common alike. I've got something that's in a majestic-looking purple that I can do for let's call it 4 gold a bolt, and that's about 3 yards of fabric.
Yeah.
Spoken like somebody who's a fine connoisseur of fabric. Yes.
Here's 25 gold. Just give me all that.
Okay. I like the way you deal with it. I like that kind of person. Very good.
So are you like, do you live in the town? Do you live in Aldenburg?
No. This is just part of my trade route. I come from the this along these roads down from the southeast. As a matter of fact, it's a way out there, far Jonesburg. It's a sister city of Aldenburg, but it's Jonesburg. It's down towards more towards the south here. If you were looking at let's say an atlas of the area, it's around this area down here.
How are the roads? Have you had any trouble?
Oddly enough, it's been fairly safe. I'd say. I mean, there have been guards and militia walking the roads and keeping things fairly safe. But I'd say my time has been fairly good. I deal with the church quite frequently. They are good customers of mine. And I don't really give them much problems, and they let me on my way.
I'm sorry, what was your name? In case we decide to ever travel down there, we'd follow up with you and maybe visit your place of business.
My name is Mark. Mark the Traveling Salesman. Just ask for me down there. Everybody knows who I am.
And what was your town again, your city?
Oh, it's the fine town of Jonesburg. There's a red drink down there. If you're not from around there, it's a bit stiff. Some people call it cool. I would steer away from the cool drink, the cool aid, if you would.
I'll remember that.
Just a helpful tip from me, Mark, the traveling sales guy.
All right, well, is there anything else we need to get on our way?
Oh, well, you helped me out massively. You've healed my hand. I can hold on to this. I can't thank you enough. So I'll just leave you with this. Good tidings on your way down the road, wherever you may go. May the wind be at your back and Bane at your service, and I'm on my way towards Aldenburg. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Ta-ta, toodaloos.
I guess we should get back on the road then.
Okay. So as you continue down the road, at this point, it's in the early afternoon of your first day's travel, and you're making good time. But the clouds are pushing in and getting darker, and as it seems to happen, the storms start whipping up around the party with a torrential downpour. And the road's getting a bit muddy, and your travel slows a little bit. And again, the horses and the mastiff, they seem to be getting used to this kind of weather. It's a little slow going. It maybe impedes your travel by a couple of hours just by the trumping through the mud and everything. But after an hour or so, the heavy downpour trickles down to just a easy rain, and allow the sky's breaking a little bit. It's no longer a dark gray as you're traveling. The sun's peeking through a little bit. It looks a little hazy out in the in front of you, and you're traveling up a little bit, and you spy what appears to be a stone bridge that's coming up over a small ravine. The ravine comes up. It's you're looking at it, and Corin would guess it's about 60 feet across. The bridge that you're looking at, it's a good 15-20 feet wide. It seems sturdy. You get and you see there in the middle of the bridge, roughly 30 feet across, there's a small platform that's been built that's kind of hanging over the edge of the bridge. So you slowly come up towards the bridge, and I'll give you an opportunity if you want to investigate or what have you. I will say that both Siona and Eldon are feeling a little. They can't really place their fingers on it, and they're not really saying much to anybody. But they both feel like there's something here. So the party would start traveling across the bridge, and slowly, as they come up towards the platform.
Does anything look like off about the bridge?
From what you can tell, it looks like your standard stone bridge, gray brick, gray stones, fairly secure. It doesn't look. I mean, it looks like it's been well maintained for being on a road this traveled. You do see there appears to be some staining on the platform. So, Eldon or Sienna, give me an insight check.
Insight.
Okay, so Eldon, I'm going to, since you've given that to me, join me over in the DM thing. I'm just going to pass you some information, and you can do with it as you wish.
Okay.
So you're blind. No. No, sorry. The insight check that you get, and I would tell the same thing to Siona if she gave me the check as well. You get the overwhelming sense of sadness and sorrow that's palpable in the air, and you sense that there's a number of ghosts hovering around the bridge, as if there's just some unattended business. It doesn't seem like from your overwhelming insight check there, it does not seem like they are interested in the party. It just seems like there's some unfinished business, if you would, and this is where they have chosen, or this is where they are in their current present.
So I can't actually physically or visually see anything. It's just I have a feling of a presence.
Yes, being it's the religious person that you are, and it's being a cleric and everything, you have a strong sense of this feeling, and like I said, you can't necessarily see them, but you sense the presence is there.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is just more of a moment. Your character senses this. You don't sense any danger, but I'll let you do with this information what you will. If you want to encourage the party to move on or whatever, this is just one of those moments. So, you have any other questions? Any other thing that we can add some flavor to?
You're challenging me.
I'm trying some new things. I'm trying to.
Yeah. Okay.
But like I said, there is, unless somebody specifically tries to throw, like fire at a ghost or something, and maybe tries to antagonize them, I don't anticipate combat. But we'll see. Stranger things have happened.
Actually see them though, right?
No. We can thank some random tables for coming up with this, and I like the idea, and so we're just going to see how it goes.
Okay. I don't have the... Okay.
So are we good, or you got another question for me?
I think I'm good. I don't have an actual click for that. Actually, for that staff that I just brought back up.
The staff of flowers?
Yeah.
You can just say if you want to use that, just go with it.
Yeah, I'll use it. I'll do an emote here. But okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. We're good.
We're back.
We're still here.
Hi guys.
Eldon, why the serious look on your face?
Why the long face? Because I'm a horse.
It's because he's blind, obviously.
I've been blinded again. Actually, I'm feeling blind, yet I can see. There's something here. There's just something here, so I'm pulling out my staff of flowers. And I'm using the staff of flowers to put some nice flowers right at the end of the bridge. There's something here, but I'm not sure we can do anything for them.
I suppose there's no harm in showing a little respect.
Eldon, were you typing something on?
Nothing that I didn't just say.
Okay, I just didn't. It's very nice of you putting some lilies across the bridge.
I forgot how many charges the staff has, though, so I have to remember to mark that. 10, right?
Hold on. I think that's right. For grins, we'll just say 10 and go with it, and we'll market it if it's different.
Using 2 charges.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else that you want to do here?
I'll leave that decision to the cleric who seems to know what's going on.
There just seems to be some spirits hanging around, or something sad that seems unfulfilled, but not sure if we want to linger.
So the party makes their way uneventfully across the stone bridge. Again, Eldon gets the sense that his actions were appreciated by the spirits that were in surrounding and maneuvering near the bridge. So the group continues their fairly uneventful traveling day, and towards dusk, you come across, and Thongrim is the one who actually spots this. You spot a large circle of dark soil sitting off the road a bit in a grassy area. Thongrim, roll me a history check, please.
You might have to do that, or does someone else have control?
Chris has control.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I thought I clicked me. I did click me. Or no, I clicked Thongrim, but it came up as
Oh, no. It's because you probably have your drop down as you still. You see where at the bottom of that, on the right hand side, down at the bottom, it says as.
Okay, but the history,
That is probably
the
Thongrim's.
+1 in history is Thongrim's. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're good. So Thongrim would have heard stories of suffocating mud pits along the road, and he'd be wary of maybe going near them.
Sorry, Thongrim wary of going near something.
Stranger things have happened.
I know. I tried charging through it one day, and I just kept sinking right through the bottom there, and I couldn't move. And one of my brothers had to pull me out, and it was just a real pain in the arse. And yeah, you stay far away from that over there.
I'll try to curtail my desire to play in mud.
Although, this one doesn't look that deep. I think I could make it this time. Nah, another day.
And here I was hoping that was going to happen. So, the group will heed Thongrim's warnings and continue on down the path. But it's coming down to the nightfall is coming towards the end of this first day of travel. So, would you want to rest for the evening?
What's the terrain look like around us? Is there a good place to camp nearby that's not just out in the middle on its own?
Well, it's not an overly wooded area. You could probably find something that's off the beaten path, but there's no, from where you are right now, there's no, cave-like areas or something that you could, hide in or anything. But you could probably find some. We'll say the party could find a fairly off the, beaten path area.
We don't want to travel after dark since that's bad for horses and whatnot. So I'd say we should make camp at night.
Can we fit camp in a 20 by 20 area?
Depends on how Thongrim's washed his Minotaur hood.
So we're making camp?
Unless you guys want to try to push on.
I say we can't.
So Eldon will sit in the center of said camp area.
I'd like to point out that if we're in a 20-foot cube and the alarm goes off, they're standing next to us.
Oh, well, still better than nothing.
I'll take first watch.
I mean, you could put it off behind us. Maybe. I don't know. It's just an idea.
I'll take either first or last watch where there's still a modicum of light for me to see.
I'll take second watch, and
We're not doing a campfire? I'll take third.
I'll go find a tree to tack up all the horses to.
Okay. So roughly 2 hours of watch, get you through the evening. Oh, we got one more person who wants to.
I'll take the morning when I meditate, along with my meditation. My morning meditation.
Okay. So everybody, roll me a quick perception check.
Do you want them in order?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
So most of the first watch is uneventful as it goes through. Corn doesn't see anybody heading their general direction. Did you guys light a campfire or not? I didn't hear the answer to that question.
Yes.
Okay. So there were a couple of... We're going to say that you're within eye shot of the road, but from what Corn could tell, there was nobody that paid much mind during his watch of the campfire or of the group. And like I said, it's a fairly well-traveled road, and it is patrolled somewhat regularly. Coming up on the second watch, Raz noticed some rats and some vermin kind of getting close to the party, but managed to shoo them off. Nothing that was endangering the party. It's with Sienna didn't notice anything that had happened, and Eldon came across as at the beginning of his watch and continued his meditation. And again, nothing really took place that evening. So it comes up to morning, and here we go.
Here we go. We're getting ready to leave for the morning.
Hey, yeah. It's
Okay.
yeah, it's in the morning. Sorry, I realized I said that with an upward inflection.
Yeah, they roll initiative. Here we go.
Yeah, sorry. So we're going to start on day 2. Is there anything that you would like to do in the camp before you proceed?
I'll just make sure the horses are fed.
Feed Orin.
Good old Orin the Mastiff.
Mm.
So you're making pretty good progress as you're traveling. Again, most of the day's travel would take you, towards this general area on the map. And again, we're going to be swooping down this way. So the party breaks down their camp, gets back on the road, mounts their horses, and starts traveling down the road. Within an hour, you come across a group of 4 adventurers that are traveling down the road. Again, Bane, just to give you something to look at as I'm shifting the map over.
Are they wearing symbols of Bane?
Hold on.
Oh, now we're in a cave.
Yeah, like I said, one of the things I really love about Roll20. I can't figure out how to scroll over all the mini maps that I've got now. Well, that's interesting. I cannot scroll my map up. Okay, so you wanted to know if they were wearing the symbols of Bane. Roll me a perception. So you don't see that they have any markings of Bane. You do overhear the party boasting about, and I quote, taking that guy out because, well, he looked at us kind of weird. And, if the bosses ask us about it, well, I'm gonna, he threatened us, obviously. It was, so we had no choice, right? And you hear them talking amongst themselves about apparently something that had just happened a little further down the road. Okay. All right. I will try to remember that.
Okay, I guess have they seen us?
They may not immediately notice you, but y'all are coming down the same road here. They're obviously lost in conversation.
Okay, I want to, if I can, without being seen, get off my horse and give it to the reins to somebody else, and then sneak off, I guess, over here maybe, somewhere, out of sight.
Okay, roll me a stealth check real quick, and I'm going to... Alright, so 12. 1 second.
So is this a wallish kind of, like this rubble and rock and bush prior to the
Yes.
back?
The way that I interpret this map is this area is higher on the topography than this area, and this area is also higher. So it's kind of like a little bit of a valley. That's how I have interpreted this map.
Yeah, so I want to get like up there.
All right, hang on just a second. I'm still trying to... all right.
So who took the reins of your horse?
Apparently Alexa did.
Yeah, Siri's over here chatting with me right now for some reason.
I guess I'll take him.
Yeah, just whoever was closest.
And someone's... I'll take the reins of Fongrim's horse.
All right, it's taking me like 19 easy, simple clicks to get to where I want to go here. All right.
Oh, did I stealth boost you before you went over that way?
No, but it's apparently too late now.
No, you can do it if he wants to do it. You can do it after the roll too, if I read it correctly.
Well, I have to be able to touch him to...
Oh,
Okay.
well then, yeah.
Then I'll wait.
What's that?
Then yes, I waited for you. That's all.
Okay, so do you want me to click that boost every time, or...
Well, I'll let you run it this time.
There.
So now it's a 16.
I assume, Corin, before you snuck off, you would have looked us in the eye and be like, "Hey, I'm about to sneak off."
At the
Oh, yeah.
top of my lungs.
Handed the reins over and all that, so I'm sure he prepared for it.
Also have the message cantrip. I can tell you once I'm out of sight.
That is true. Where is this?
Dude, you have no idea how much guidance is going to save me on inspiration uses, so I can save them for battle. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but it's only ability though. But yeah.
Yeah.
But if I use it, it's an action, so in combat it could be difficult.
It's also
but
I don't think it's an attack roll, just as ability check.
No, but just the fact that it's a pre-combat thing as a cantrip is pretty awesome.
Yeah, if I can touch someone right before something starts.
Okay.
Touch me, Eldon.
Oh,
Oh, by the
Jesus.
way, initiative is an ability check.
Yeah, see, I don't know if that would count. That would be one of those things that...
No, initiative is an ability check. I'm saying it is. Which means Jack of all trades applies to it, and that spell would apply to it.
Yeah, but it would have... If the problem being that concentration up to 1 minute means that I would have to have done it before we knew we needed roll initiative.
Right. So your stealth check as you get up there, this guy right here notices the movement in the brushes and says, Hey, I see you up there. Where are you sneaking off to?
I just yell back, I've got to pee.
All right.
Find what it looks to be something that would be appropriate for such a thing, and I pretend like I'm doing that.
And so you see this guy. He alerts and he's waving his hand, points in Corin's general direction, and they're muttering to each other, and so their conversation kind of gets more towards a muted whisper, kind of a mumble.
While I'm up here and doing that, I also cast Mage Hand.
Okay.
I yell, "Don't be all day. We've got to get back to our contract."
Contract. Hearing the word contract has kind of given their conversation another jolt of. And so you see them chatting with each other. And this lady moves forward. And where is she? This lady moves forward and says, "Hello, how are you? I see your friend there up relieving himself in the woods. Okay. Who's there?" My name is Helga, and I am. We are on our way, just passing through here. I hear contract, so you're obviously with somebody. Let's see.
I'm going to message down to Eldon. It's like, hey, one of you guys needs to act like you're actually in charge of this thing. It can't be me. I'm up here being...
Siona.
Yeah.
Confront this. Act like you're in charge.
Hey. We're just some travelers making our way to... Where are we going?
Yes, I've heard of that place. That place.
I don't know where we're going.
I messaged Eldon, hey, anybody but her.
We're just going south,
I wasn't going to have
looking for a friend. What are you doing?
Yeah, real funny. Some friend. Seems like we've been going south for days trying to find those damn bandits. Hey, you over there. You seen
Who?
anybody funny walking down these roads?
Who, me? Funny. We did see this a couple of days ago. We saw this convoy going through. I mean, those bloody bastards seem to be meaning business. I mean, they knocked us right off the road as they came plowing through. But it's so you see, what is that? What is that on your? And you see this lady staring intently at Siona.
Nope, it's covered up. If she's looking at my breastplate, it's covered up.
At the scarf she's wearing?
Scarf.
When did this scarf happen?
The last game.
I don't know.
Also, I just purchased some cloth and put a new one on.
Yes, I was actually thinking you just purchased that cloth for that very reason.
Last game I said, hey, I have this thing covered up. Because remember we were in town?
I vaguely remember that.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, all right. So
I called it a bandana. That's what I called it.
A bandana. Because it was no
That's
longer...
a scarf.
A chestana.
I see. So it was no longer covering the...
It's a sash.
It's not visible. whatever she's looking at.
Oh, it isn't, is it?
So as I noticed, she's got eyes on her. I learned from the cool trick that was played on me at the bar, and I touched the 5 tips of my palm to my leather armor very discreetly underneath my tunic, and cast minor illusion in the symbol of Bane, about probably 6 inches in diameter, and that it's still concealed under my tunic. But if I brought my hand over to it to show my leather armor, it would show the symbol of Bane, but it's currently hidden.
Okay. All right. Got it. Hidden symbol of Bane. Hidden symbol of whatever that thing is. Okay. Well, you guys, I thought I saw something, but all I see is this lovely purple sash. Where did you get that lovely thing? I think that would go wonderful with my for my performances. Where did you say you got that?
Merchant down the road.
We'll have to be on the lookout for him.
Have you met Mark?
Mark? No, I haven't.
Traveling merchant.
He says he's well known.
Well, we haven't seen any coming this way. He must have been ahead of us on the road a couple of days. Did he say where he was heading?
Oldenburg.
Oldenburg, you say? Are you familiar with Oldenburg? Is that where you came from?
Yeah, it is. What's it to you?
Depends on who's asking.
Well, I'm asking.
And who might you be?
I'm Helga Two Horns, and I'm asking here. And she bows up a little.
Margaret has 2 horns.
Well, and those are. I assume Thongrim is your little friend there.
He's bigger than me.
Well, you're the tiny friend, obviously.
Yeah, the name's Thongrim. Do we know each other?
I can't say that we do. We are. I had not. I don't know if I've seen you on my side of town. But we've come in and out of Oldenburg for a while now, and we're from the northwestern side of the town. We've seen the likes of the church and everything, but we try not to make. Well, I shouldn't say that.
You're saying you've got a problem with the church?
I didn't say that. And you see her step back a little bit, and
go ahead.
She fails her performance check, and she steps back a little bit.
Siri, what time is it?
Siri, roll initiative.
Why are you asking me about the church? Are you part of the church?
Nah, just on contract right now. There's been a fuss in Oldenburg, and there's apparently some hired assassins from this lesser house. I forgot the name. It's not important. Anyway, they're hunting a bunch of bandits. Apparently they're in cahoots with these known assassins. I guess they hired these bandits out to do some dirty work, and they needed more hands in town. It was, they got people going in all directions, and they needed a couple of troopers to head down south and look for some bandits and interrogate them, and maybe get our hands dirty if it came to it. Get more information about those assassins. Maybe the bandits did it. We don't know. But point is, we're looking for some fishy folks down here, and it'd be great if we could come back up with some information on Aldenburg so we can give it back to the church, because they pay for good information.
So you're telling me you work for the church?
Just temporarily. It's better than working at the docks.
We work for whoever pays us.
Hey, Nathaniel, she calls back. These guys say they're working for the church. And the guy responds, who's Nathaniel, who's the guy who pointed out to Corin in the woods. I'm hearing you. You know, the bosses might. I think they'd be kind. You know, they'd give us a mighty kind eye if we brought back some people who worked for the church. I agree, Helga yells. So we'll make this easy for you. You can come with us back to our bosses back in Aldenburg, or you guys can die right here. It's your choice.
I say the magic incantation. You know what I've been thinking, which is the verbal trigger word for
Roll initiative.
My suggestion spell,
Oh,
which I cast on the female person in front.
okay.
Let me pull that up real quick there.
Can't wait. I'm anxious.
All right, there we go. So I take a little bit of the snozberry oil that I frothily whipped into a vial and apply it to my tongue, and I say,
Oh God,
it would be a
phrasing.
good idea if...
You're a little out of range, by the way.
Oh, okay. Good point. I kind of slowly saunter up to her real quick,
Slowly, really.
about right there. And I say, whoa. No, we don't want any trouble. And I kind of lick my lips to get the oil going. And I say, no, you know what I think would be a good idea if we just had a beer instead, if we really just bitched about how shitty the church has been treating people. Am I right?
All right, so I've got to do a wisdom saving throw here. All right.
Oh, shit.
Well,
Yeah, that beats my 15.
That's how I'm wearing my scarf. If you look in Discord chat.
that's nice.
If that helps. They cannot see my breastplate.
Well, I think they're less concerned about the breastplate and more concerned about the
I
church
know,
at this
I'm
point.
just clarifying what I'm wearing.
I'm with you. I'm envisioning this as a nice purple infinity scarf. I like it. We're going with it. So you
What I meant.
the Discord chat.
Oh, gotcha.
So you say you want to go have a beer over at back when we get into town? Yeah, that'd be real good. They're going to pay us real nicely for you when we get back there.
Who's going to pay you?
Our bosses back at the guild.
What do they pay?
Well,
Do they work for the church?
No, they don't work for the
I
church.
thought the church ran the town.
I've said too much.
Wait. Are you part of the blacksmith guild? They're a good group of folks.
I am not. All right, I see the mage hand.
Just in case, not doing anything right now.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's see here. Doing all of this digitally is fun because I wish I had it to rifle through directly. So what they pay us, Tiny Man, is not any concern to you. We know who we work for, and we know one day we know that what we're working towards. So say it now if you have anything, or come with us, or as I said, you shall die here, and we will drag you back as proof.
So are you for or against Bane? And I
Okay.
take my shawl off because it feels like we're getting ready for a fight, and I don't want to be encumbered.
I am against Bane, and you see the the lady back here. She starts moving her hands under her tunic. Obviously, she's readying something.
Is there any reaction to my
Pull my short bow out and point it at her. Like, okay,
to the symbol?
hands where I can see them.
Okay, well, there we go.
Is there any reaction to the symbol?
Oh, there's a reaction, but they're reacting to the crossbow now.
I don't think these people even know what that symbol is.
Well, I can tell you that they've mistaken it for something else. Wah, wah. So let's roll some initiative, shall we?
I'm the worst.
Remember what I was saying. Jack of all trades applies to initiative.
I'll have the ruler out. Damn it, I hate Roll20. First roll is for me, second roll is for Thongrim.
That was wrong. That was wrong. That was the wrong person.
Someone's played around with the. Did what I had. My initiative.
Yeah, I did. So that
23.
guy is him. Come on. All right. And this guy. All right, that should be everybody. And where would we be in combat if we did not have Danger playing?
Well, usually I'm bad at initiative, but man, the whole party this time.
Yeah, that was those were some interesting rolls there. So we
I
got
guess I'd have to be 30 feet away, so I'm pretty much in the front. Yay me.
yeah. So I've got Siona, I see Corin, I see Eldon. Okay, so let me get you guys in the order there.
So we've got also line of sight issues here too, right?
Some, yes. I mean, it's we're talking maybe a 4 to 5 feet grade on the left side there. There's some bushes. There's going to be some, but not a ton. We'll play it out. Where are your initiatives there, Raz?
My first, for Raz, it's 10. For Thongrim, it's 7. I didn't click correctly.
When you're playing two characters, you can't use the initiative button down at the bottom, right?
You gotta click on each one as you click it.
Yeah, it's my bad.
How dare you? Roll20 is very intuitive. You should know how to use it completely by now.
We pay for this now. We should be able to find one of those scripts that does it for us.
What am I, a DM? I can't play 2 characters.
Try doing 4.
No thanks.
But at least you have more than one monitor, I hope.
That is true. I do.
On Ash's little 3-inch by 6-inch laptop screen.
Unless I heard he was rolling on a Commodore 64, so it's in that good 8-bit color.
Oh, the CGA days.
Okay. All right. I'm working on it here. So dash allows me to go twice, right? Twice the movement speed.
Yep, and that's your action.
Well, except for this person. She's got the light-footed. So that's going to be... Okay. And... she also has that. So Helga's going to move forward here, and with her multi-attack, she's going to attack who she sees, the guy with the symbol of Bane on his chest. She's going to attack him with her whip twice.
Careful, he might like that.
And that first one is a miss. And I believe that's a hit.
It is, but as she says that, I said, "Not cool! I thought this was Miller time!" And I cast one of my inspirations as Cutting Words.
All
So
right.
it rolls 1d6 off, which would be a 13 or less, which misses.
Right. What? What? Yeah, you can see that she's taken aback by this. I'm usually... Oh.
We all are.
Sienna?
Okay. Going to I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark. Can I cancel that?
Sure.
I just kind of want to approach her and stand in front of her. And try to shove her to the ground. And diffuse, and maybe disarm her. I don't know.
Okay, so which is it? Is it going to be an intimidate? Is it going to be a disarm?
Grapple?
Ooh, grapple.
And shove prone?
I think shove. I think shove's its own action.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is his own action.
So just
I think
grapple?
I think it's still an attack though.
Of course, when I look on here, it's a shovel and not shove.
It's an attack, but it uses the athletics first, athletics or dexterity. So it's the same as it's the same method as a grapple.
So what do I do?
So it's a strength check versus my either...
It's athletics
yeah.
check versus athletics or acrobatics.
Okay.
So just roll athletics?
And mine can be athletics or acrobatics, right?
Correct.
And prone she goes. So that's the action. You've moved. Anything else? Are you pushing? Okay, so do you want to push her back 5 feet, or do you want to knock her prone?
Prone.
Okay, yeah, so she's prone.
Why are you attacking us?
For multiple reasons. One, the Bane symbol. We don't take kindly to anybody who works for the church.
Look at the symbol on my breastplate. This is not Bane. I hate Bane.
Second, your boy...
You listen to me.
Roll me an intimidation check. All right, so she's listening.
And I have advantage on that, too, if I had failed it. Just saying.
I get it. You hate Bane. We hate Bane. He's Bane. Why aren't you attacking him? And furthermore, your guy up there who's taken a whiz as the longest whiz ever has a crossbow pointed at us, or a short bow or something.
Well, you started being all confrontational and stuff. He's just watching out for us.
Yes, but here I am, ass on the ground.
Well, it's better than having a sword in your gut. Can we just talk this out, please?
Well,
You obviously don't like Bane. We don't like Bane. But we also didn't know you. You're strangers, and this whole area seems to like Bane.
It's hard to know who to trust.
so while that conversation is going, in the back, this gentleman replies with a two short bow attacks at Corin, because he's retaliating, or he's going after who he sees as the threat while y'all are having your conversation there. Because as Corin pointed out, that is a very long 6 seconds.
And now I'm going to die because I said that.
And the ones.
That's a miss.
Yep.
Less of a miss.
And he's going to use his movement to move up to a little bit of higher ground here. And then this person... Okay, so this person is going to move... Nell is going to move to here. And she is going to throw an alchemical acid bomb 30 feet and land it on here. So what did we rule on a 5-foot radius?
What do you mean?
It was, so if she's throwing it right there, so a 5-foot would be...
Is it the 9 squares, or is it just the 5-foot square?
Yeah.
I assume it's within 5 feet.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that just be 1 square?
Well, that's why I'm asking. Is the
Yeah, because 15 cubes would be... I'm sorry, 9
A
3 by 3
5-foot
would be 15 by 15.
a
Not 5 by
5-foot
5.
radius, you target the intersection
Right.
of a cube, of a square, and get the 4 squares around it. That's the first thing I found when I Googled.
Oh God, I
Also-
can't get rid of the red squares.
Oh yeah, last time someone tried to. Oh,
Yeah, last time, yeah, we
lost the whole maps.
All right, so say that again.
One things I found is you don't target a tile, you target the intersection of 4 tiles. Like you can hit it right.
I
there.
gotcha. Gotcha. All right. So we'll say that that's what happens. So the three of you need to roll a dexterity saving throw.
And I believe Thungrim has advantage on it from his endless perception, something level 2 barbarian skill.
Yeah. So we'll say you two get the save. Siona does not. And that is a... So Siona takes 8, the other two take 4.
Okay, so I have the barbarian has advantage on dexterity saving throws against effects that I can see, such as traps and spells. It's a danger sense. Would you think this qualifies?
I would say that this would absolutely be included in that.
Okay, so 4 damage.
Yeah, so it's dexterity checks against things you can see, so you can see that coming.
Yeah.
Unlike why kids love the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which no one can see.
Some of those crushes are delicious.
All right, Raz.
So I move, I move 10 feet over towards what's her name? Helga Two-Horn's body. I kneel down. I expose my breastplate with the symbol of Bane. I dissolve the minor illusion. I put my hand up to the person who threw the bomb. I said, "Wait, I think we might be working for the same people." And I cast suggestion on Helga Two-Horns. Again. And I put a little bit of sweet oil to my lips from the snozzberry juice. I say, "I think it would be really cool if we talked about this. We may be able to take down the church together, but it's going to take some time."
All right. Wisdom saving throw, yes?
Yes.
Did you say you moved?
I did move 15. Yeah, 10 feet. Let me do that. Yes, DC 15.
Damn. All right, got to read the suggestion thing again. All right, so Helga would believe that at this point that you guys are all working for the same team here. So Helga is looking and saying, so you, again, trying to go with 6 seconds here. So you mean to tell me that you are not working for Bane?
We're with the Red Flames. We're on a mission. The church is working against us. Our people are in danger. The church must be stopped.
Huh. Okay, so 1 second.
Just one.
Yeah, just one. We're going to have her think real quick and make a quick history check. Intelligence +1. Roll 1d20 +1 for her history check. And she would say that she vaguely recalls something about the Red Flames, but thinks that it's just this is her mental thought, and she's not really able to act on it right now. But she's thinking on this, going, I've heard of the Red Flames, but it doesn't really ring she just thought it was like a myth. Something about the church and the something to do with the cliffs, and there was some. She didn't really pay attention in history class, but she remembers the name. So that's your action and your movement. Anything else while she's pondering what's happening? Did you hear me, or did mine cut
I
out?
didn't hear a thing.
Sorry. All right. Anyway, okay. So she was going through, and she had realized, she believes what you're saying, and she hears the term red flames, and she did a history check, and she, recalls hearing the name, but it remembers it being kind of like a myth or a legend. Honestly, she didn't pay much attention in her classes, and as people go around about what was happening. She knows that it has something to do with the church, but she's actively milling this around, but doesn't have time to act on it. But you can see that she's now convinced in and of herself that you guys are not not necessarily foes, but not necessarily friends at this point. Okay, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Thangram.
Oh man. I move up next to Raz on the other side of Helga's prone body. And I put both my hands up in the air. I say, look, we don't want to fight. The church has caused us nothing but trouble. We've been on the run for as long as we know. These folks have. Look, I've been an outstanding member of the Smiths Guild of Oldenburg all my life. Please, let's just talk. We'll have some beers on me. Good idea, eh? And I keep my hands up in the air, far away from my weapon.
Okay, and who are you talking to?
Talking to the guy who threw the acid at me. So
Okay.
This guy.
Gotcha. All right, so you are doing a persuasion. Yes, persuasion.
Okay.
So, she yells. Well, not yells. She's like 20 feet away. She speaks up. I can see that you don't necessarily. I can see that you don't necessarily want to fight us. Hey guys. As she turns around, this may have been a misunderstanding. As she turns around, and hang on. She turns around and tries to wave off the other two guys. So that would be.
I yell out, Corn! I think it's safe. Don't fire. I think we can bring this back under control.
All right, I say okay, but I don't drop my bow.
Okay, so we are saying that Thungrum, of all people, managed to persuade the person who threw the alchemical bomb. Okay. So now it's up to Nathaniel the Competent to make Barbarian. I love it. So it's up to Nathaniel here to make a decision. And does he listen to Nell there? And that would be... Are you sure Nell, are you sure? Nathaniel says. This doesn't go with any of what our bosses have told us. They told us to no mercy. That's not how we go in our guild. That they had the Bane symbol, which I don't see anymore, and the squiggly lines on her breastplate. That certainly looks like our rivals. I'm so confused, and he's just now he's perplexed. And he is getting a whole slew of things. We're going to say Nathaniel is confused. So he's going to ready his short bow, and he also has multi-attack. So he's going to ready an action and attack. Which one? He's going to continue to attack Corin, who's got the short bow currently trained on him. So that is, he has readied an attack, and if he is fired upon, he will fire at Corin.
Alright, just FYI, a readied attack can only be one attack, not multi.
One it is.
Alright, so I am going to do nothing, but I'm going to ready my movement, and if something looks like they're going to shoot at me, I'm going to go prone.
Which will give you +2 to AC or something?
I get advantage on ranged attacks.
Okay. Or they have disadvantage on you.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, all right, gotcha.
So then I'm going to yell down, like, you guys need to resolve this. So, or do I need to shoot somebody? Plus, they shoot more arrows than I do, so please resolve this.
Eldon? Eldon, sorry?
Oh, okay. Yes, I think, check how far, make sure I can move where I think. So Eldon is going to walk up onto the side of this hill a little bit and say, to attack, without, what did he use? What was the term he used?
Who he?
The one who said without mercy, without this guy.
That guy?
Yeah. Said he would attack without mercy or something like that.
Yes, he was confused at what's been happening. Obviously, seeing that Helga is on her duff, now seemingly and oddly, no longer angry at them, or at least confused, and then Nell is convinced that they may be on the same side. So Nathaniel there is a little confused, so he's hesitant, but he's lined up a shot at Corin.
Okay. I'm just gonna say to attack in that way, to keep attacking us this way, it makes you no better than those of the followers of Bane. We are not your enemies. We are just protecting ourselves, and I'm going to ready just my aid spell in case things continue.
Okay.
There's going to be a whole bunch of ready attacks. One person's going to move, and it's going to be bam, bam, bam.
I'm writing it all down right now. So
looks like we got ourselves an old-fashioned Eclerosian standoff.
Okay, so Nathaniel's ready to shoot at Corin if he's shot upon. Corin's going to go prone if somebody shoots at him, and Eldon's going to cast a healing word or
Aim. Aid would
Aid.
be. Do you want me to just click it so you can see what?
Yeah,
it does?
please.
I mean, it's one of my buffs, but it will make
Plus 5 hit points.
plus 5 max hit points for I think my Siona, Thongrim, and Corin. I don't know why I'm.
Nice. Okay, so it was Siona, Thongrim, and who else would get it?
Corin.
Corin. Okay, so that's going to happen in case. What's the trigger?
Sorry, Raz.
Okay, so if somebody shoots at. Just as somebody.
At anyone.
Okay, so if somebody fires something, aid is being cast. All right, gotcha. If anyone fires. Gotcha.
Including Corin.
Correct.
Hey, I back our own team just as much as it's something else. We feel we're.
Okay, so an excruciatingly long 6 seconds has passed. And we are back around the horn, and Helga is looking up from her duff, looking up at Raz, Siona, and going, okay. Okay, so she believes what was being told due to the suggestion. The suggestion was not a dexterity saving throw, and that was not damage. And okay, so she gets up for her move action. Slowly. Because she believes that y'all are friendly at the moment. And says, okay, so Miss, whatever your name is, we're clearly, I believe that we may be on the same side, but what, yes, I clearly wasn't expecting this. What would she ask? She turns around and yells over at this guy, who would be Dak, and attempts to persuade him that this is not the battle. We have gotten into battle unwittingly. These folks may be fine. So she's going to try to persuade her buddy there. And charisma. Sorry, that should have been from Helga. So she looks like, hey, Dak, stand down, buddy. Stand down. These guys they may be good guys. And he looks back and seems to, he's holding his weapon, but obviously it's not his turn yet. But he's like, he kind of gives the slow nod of approval. And over to Siona. Yeah, over to Siona.
I sheath my sword and just stand there, waiting for combat to end. Are we good? Are we good?
I think...
Can we talk about this?
I think we're okay. So everybody's still kind of standing there, but for now, I think we're out of initiative. So I think we may have gotten. Helga turns around and faces Sienna. We may have gotten off on the wrong foot.
Well, you guys did shoot me, so yes.
Who took damage?
I did from the acid or whatever.
Everybody but Eldon, I think.
Yeah, everybody but Belden. Yes, so Raz and Thangram took 4, Siona took 8, and Corin took an arrow for 5.
Oh.
So Eldon was oblivious. It's like, I didn't get hit. I don't know what's happening here. So you got all right. So obviously, I mean, I saw the Bane symbol in your buddy here, as she turns and looks at Raz. Says, "Look, I saw the Bane symbol, and you said you were working for him, and we've been told back at." The only thing that comes to mind is the Cobra Kai dojo, but that's not it. Our boss keeps telling us that, and has been ingraining us with the lesson that we should be with no mercy. Now, granted, we've been with our guild for about a month now, and we're still learning the ropes. And we saw that you were working with Bane, and we got overexcited. We were looking at that. We thought we could take this and get higher in our higher prestige in our guild. And she's telling you this because obviously she's under the suggestion that you guys are friendly. You see in the background that Nell and the other guys are like shaking their head, going, "Why is she saying these things?" But they obviously can't stop her at this point.
I'll reiterate that having no mercy makes you no better than the Church of Bane.
I suppose you're right, little gnome, sir. We are just trying to do what's right for us, and trying. We're just honestly trying to make an honest living based on where we come from, and it's been rough with the church locking things down and just making things disappear. It's hard to know who to trust.
Trust me, I understand that all too well. And I apologize for the ruse. And it was, in fact, showed that the illusion has disappeared. I apologize. It feels like my friends and family have been systematically hunted by the church for many years, and I only discovered this recently. Also seems like traveling against the church has been nothing but a death sentence for us all, so I figured maybe we were just serving as contractors for them, would find us some retinue of safety for a day, but looks like I have to put my shoe in my mouth on that one, don't I?
That would be the case, though I'm not sure I would eat my shoes. They're going to be needed as if you continue down this road. But yes, a word of advice, though. I might keep that trick handy, because while I'm understanding of why you attempted to deceive us, others may not be so.
You say you're from Oldenburg?
Yes, we've been stationed there for some months now. Go ahead.
How do you stay hidden from the Church of Bane?
Well, we try our best to keep a low profile, not making obvious moves against the church. It's been a hard upward battle trying to stay hidden, especially as operatives and agents of ours, as they get caught, they disappear, and some appear strung up on the gallows, as I'm sure you've probably seen the gallows in front of the monastery.
Were they working with you?
Were who working?
We had met Doug and Dunhall, and we came back to town to find them hanging from the gallows, and I was upset by it. They seemed like good people.
Now, you're saying Doug from the theater? Yeah, he was.
Yes.
I'm not sure we're familiar with Dunhall. If that's what you said, but Doug.
Wasn't that was the bard, right?
Yeah, that was the bard. Yeah.
Okay.
I just didn't know if Helga had heard you correctly. So what you say that they strung up Doug? Oh, that is.
Yes.
That's not good. Hey, and the other crew, they overhear this, and they move forward, wondering if there's any other news that you can tell them. Obviously, this is upsetting news for them. Yes, we did work with Doug. He was one of our conduits of getting jobs to our people. He must have just gotten careless.
Well, some bandits were killed near the city,
Okay.
or some guards were killed near the city, and they seemed to use that as an excuse to string up some people. And if Doug was involved with you, it may be that maybe they have an inkling of maybe the undercurrent of distrust.
So let me guess. As she goes on to say, it was as you walked by. Did you notice if the theater was still there, or has it mysteriously turned into something else now?
We did not go by the theater before we left, but there was a bookstore that we were very interested in, that the owner died, I think, and all of a sudden it was turned into a chapel.
Why is she talking?
House of worship.
House of worship.
For prayer.
Yeah. Well, that's
And there are no books. It's like it never was.
That sounds about right with the MO of the church. They have a tendency of just completely whitewashing things that they don't agree on as a means of controlling the populace, and they do a very good job with it. I mean, and if you're not paying attention, you may never actually see it happen. So, I mean, at this point, God, Duck's gone, guys. And you hear Nell yell from the back. I mean, it's all gone now, she yells. There will be no mention of the theater anymore. I'd be surprised if you go back if the building's even still there.
So, you keep saying like you come from a guild. I'm with the Smith and Guild myself. Been a long running, good standing member. What about you? You with like the Mages Guild or the Fishing Guild or something?
Well, ostensibly, I say I'm from we have a small bardic guild up in the northwest, as I said, but that's it's just a front for our little band of misfits. There's not. We try not to work with too many other people, again, because not knowing who to trust. But we managed to get in with our boss and through some small gigs, and we're just trying to help out any way we can.
Do you have a way to identify yourself?
Maybe.
so that we
Hold on.
don't end up in a fight all over with anyone else from your group?
That makes sense. Hold on. So yeah, we'll say that there is a signal. I'm not prepared. Have not prepared one because I just didn't think that would happen. But we will say that there is a symbol, and that Helga manages to. She teaches you or shows you what the symbol is. I'm thinking it's some sort of like, not handshake, but some sort of subtle symbol along with a passphrase to be determined in the future.
A symbol that someone in our group could measure.
More like a gesture, like some sort of.
Oh,
yeah.
So we could all do that.
Yes, but in relation with a code phrase, akin to like the ducks fly at midnight, but something else.
Okay.
I will put that on my list to codify, but yes, we will say. So yes, Mr. Gnome, we do have this signal, and we hand wave past that, and she teaches you what that is. If you find your way back to Aldenburg and you go towards, if you head to the northwest, ask around for Cecily, and you may be pointed in the right direction. You are looking for the Damaso Guild, and I will send that to you.
And would you also know of, what's his name? Rizzy? What was his name?
Rixie?
Rixie.
That was a guess.
Hey, you remembered. That was... Rixie, I've crossed paths with him. I believe he's down towards the port. Scruffy, orcish-looking fella. She asks...
I think that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I was kind of drinking at the time, so,
Well, I've crossed paths with him.
He might be, and know people may be sympathetic.
I would not have guessed that. I will take that news back to my boss, and maybe that will help us too. And you can see that their overzealousness to get higher into the organization, that kind of pleases them a good bit.
Wait, was Ren the barkeep, or was Rixie the barkeep?
Rixie was Rixi. He passed on information about his spy that he moved forward to follow the convoy, and that was Ren.
Oh, my bad. I wrote that down. We're looking for... If you say you know Rixie, well, I'm taking a leap of faith here, and you seem like honorable people doing the right thing. Have you heard of someone named Ren? She's someone who... That's really what we're down here looking for. She's a half-orc. We don't know too much about her. We were told to look for her, that she's an informant. Have you passed by her? Does that name sound familiar to you?
She kind of... Helga looks and shrugs her shoulders a little bit and turns around and looks at her other three compatriots. They don't... It doesn't seem to ring a bell with any of them. So she turns back and says, Rixie's just one of those people that I've passed through town. Honestly, I didn't really take him to be somebody who would be maybe even remotely sympathetic to our cause. He just... His area he just has some nasty dealings, so that's frankly kind of surprising.
Well, if I'm being so bold, we're following a convoy, and we think Ren can help us. That convoy's got some pretty important people in the church, we think, and we also think they have our friend. And we'd very much like to go get him back.
Now that we passed. That was a nasty-looking group. I wouldn't want to... If y'all are after that, you must have stepped in some really deep stuff.
I think that's the short end of it, yes. Don't suppose you got a good look at anybody at that convoy, did you?
I mean, it was covered by militia and knights, and I mean, it was good in a good clip. You know, as it passed by us, we were pretty much held at guard, and making sure that we didn't get close and didn't say anything until it all passed. So it honestly, we didn't get a good look outside of it being a mighty impressive show of force. But this was some days ago, so I mean, if you're chasing it, I'm afraid you may not catch it.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. We were told they were heading towards the castle, so I figured we'd have to wait until they stopped there anyway and departed, and their cavalry would disperse, and maybe we could find a way to get in and sneak them away.
Well, that is a good plan. If you're heading towards the castle, just know that it's going to take some work to get in if you try to sneak in, and I'd be wary. The captain of the guard there, he's nothing to be trifled with.
How so?
Well, he's kind of a powerful guy. He's been looking to get in, from what our intelligence can tell us. He's looking to get in with the church up at the capital, and so he's started to rule the area with a much tighter fist. So it looks like he's grasping for power, and will use anything to get him that way, to get him higher in the. Use it to his advantage. I've seen him. He's a piece of work, I will say.
So he just do anything for power kind of bully?
Yeah, you could say that. That about sums him up.
All right, good to know.
So, yeah, if you're heading that way, I wish I could give you more, but the best I can do from us is to wish you luck, and hopefully, if they have your friend, well, good luck. I hope you see him again.
All right, I guess out of character, are we this kind of thing? Or are we done here?
Unless you have anything else y'all want to do, I think that y'all can get ready to part ways.
Which way were they headed? Towards Oldenburg?
Yes, they were heading towards Oldenburg. Or at least towards that way on the road. So yeah, we'll say they're heading back towards Oldenburg.
Safe travels.
And to you.
All right, as we part ways and leave, I cast a prestidigitation on the back of whoever's in the back of their line, and put a kick me sign on them.
A what?
A sign that says "kick me," or the little image that says "kick me" on whoever's furthest, whoever last person line.
The guy who hit you with the crossbow.
That would be the one. Okay, all right. So he's got a little sign that says "kick me."
Oh no, it's his whole back. Inside, entire his back. You can't miss it.
Alrighty. So we're gonna say, yeah, that was was it Nathaniel? No, it was this guy, right? He's the one who shot you from back here.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm gonna cast on whoever can't. No one else can see it, so they'll have time to get away before.
Oh yeah.
Someone sees it.
Oh yeah. I'm with you.
And it lasts an hour.
You gonna put a smiley emoji on that too?
No, just kick me.
Well played, sir. A small retribution.
I thought about making their clothes too hot, but that'd be a little too noticeable.
All right. Where are we? So they move on. They move on down their merry way. We're going to say he's in the back, and off they go. Poof. Get back to my notes here. All right. So, as you continue traveling down the road, you come across, and this is about an hour or two down the road, and Thongrim, and well, actually, all of you come across a guy, an old man that's an older gentleman who appears to be asleep on the side of the road. This is again, 3 hours or so as you go through here. So it's a little, getting closer to noon when you come across this body. As you're traveling down the road, you don't really, it's sparse, some villagers, some small incidental traffic, but nothing quite as big as you have dealt with here.
Did you say body? For some reason, I thought you made it sound like he was a vagrant or something. Is he dead or asleep?
You can check him out if you wish.
I stay on the trail, but as I'm getting close to him, I take a look. Is he just sleeping on the side of the road? Is he dead?
Roll me a perception check real quick. From what you can see, he appears to be sleeping, somewhat soundly, almost a little too still.
Keep my eye on him, but say nothing.
Okay. Does anybody else want to deal with it or move on or what have you?
No, I think I'm good.
Good to follow along.
Okay. So you're continuing to travel along, and you come across. You see up in the distance, and it's been kind of looming in the distance here. Some mountains, and the terrain's getting a little rockier and a little hillier as you have to go back this over some foothills and into some small mountainous region. So the trail has gotten a little tougher and a little harder to deal with. You're glad that you have your pack animals and all your stuff there and letting them do most of the work for you. So as the terrain gets a little bit steeper and all this, the weather is clearing out in your favor, the sun is shining, you come across this and come up to a mountain pass. And
Kind of was we were in mountains, but okay.
I'll show it to you if you want, where you were going.
I just love when mountains sneak up on me like that.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's been showing up in the distance as you come up to it. I mean, it's they sneak up at you as much as, like, say, the Appalachians would. It's just getting a little more noticeable, a little more, like I said, a little more treacherous as you're getting up to it. And the road leads up to a point where it's clearly an area filled with a couple of switchbacks in order to get up towards the higher part of the road.
Are we following any kind of noticeable signs of this convoy?
As a matter of fact, as you get closer to it, up to this switchback, you've started to see, obviously where the trails have been moved a bit. Obviously if they've got a militia marching with them and some carriages and an armored vehicle type thing, the train has been disturbed and obviously messed up as it goes. You can kind of see up these tracks here to the right. Of course, I can't click on it. Up these areas here, there have been some worn out ruts where obviously heavy vehicles and things have worn through the rocky terrain as it goes up the switchbacks. Let's see. There are, some noticeable stairs carved out, but obviously as vehicles and people have gone through, ruts have been carved out and partially worn into the rocky terrain. It's clearly not an easy pass, but one that's made readily and often enough. You go through, and Thongram, he says to himself, like, somebody really should take some time to engineer this thoroughfare. This seems awfully weird. Obviously, I don't have the pirate thing going as much as Thongram would.
Thongram doesn't.
So, to answer your question, yes, you have been. It's been a fairly easy thing to track, even through the rain and the mud and all this. So you can clearly see that it's been going through this way. So, you are here.
I don't suppose anybody here can track enough to know how long ago this cart came through.
I would think if anybody would, it would be, well, honestly, it would be Zados, but he's not with us. My second thought, it would have been in Siona. But I don't recall what.
I'm proficient in survival.
You are proficient in survival? Well, if you recall back on the conversation that you just had with Helga and Nell and all them, they said it's been several days past since they ran across them, and seeing as that we're in the same day, I would say you would know based on that conversation that it's been at least 3 days. If not a little longer, but it'd be at least that much.
Well, hopefully this kind of train will slow them down more than it slows us down. We can make some time up here. Although I'm a little scared of... I guess not. I guess I'm a little scared of somebody passing on the convoy and deciding to attack us instead.
Right.
I'm trying to tell them the rest of the party this. But I guess they don't. I guess they don't care.
So as you come up to the mountain,
See, this is what I was saying. I was gonna climb that cliff just north of us and see if I could look around.
Right. That's why I wanted to stop you beforehand, because I again, just showing you the map first. These guys would have been standing there as you came up to it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wasn't dropping things on you. I just wanted to let you know this is where we are at this point. So as you come up to this mountainous area, you see From your vantage point, you see quite a few goblins and hobgoblins, obviously taking up a good bit of the defensive area around this set of switchbacks. They are led by a hobgoblin who appears to be the leader of the pack, and it appears that they have recently set up shop here. And as you get into earshot, the leader snarls from above, "Those are some mighty fine mounts you have there. You hand them over, and we'll let you pass."
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with no.
So, we have a decision to make. Do we continue? Or do we call this a stopping point for the beginning of the next session?
I'm fine with
blood.
Yeah, I'm fine with killing them.
I just...
My sword. My sword hand twitches.
It won't matter to me. I'm going to roll a 1 on initiative, and it's going to be a half hour until I get to take a turn. But
Yeah, so here's my thought. Our combats do tend to take a long time, and it seems like we're heading into combat, because based on you saying, hell no. So I think for me...
I like Orin. I'm not giving him up.
I mean, that's fine. We can put it off for a week. That way Ash can play in the combat too.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. I think this is a good stopping point, and my wife is also letting me know that I've got to go deal with the pool outside that I had forgotten about. So I think this is a good stopping point.
What would be our marching order?
You tell me.
I mean, this is fine for me.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, at this point, we can stick a pin in time and go, all right, so the Hobgoblin is giving you guys an ultimatum on how to pass, and you guys have bowed up, and we get into a freeze frame moment where the credits start rolling, and we'd say, next time on the Adventures of Ecleros, some goblins and hobgoblins might just have their asses handed to them.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds about right.
Sure.
You still holding on that aid spell? It'd be a good time to cast it.
Well, nobody fired at you back then.
True.
No. So
We're all still like ready to attack
did somebody shoot? Wait, aid.
because we never did anything to heal up that.
I healed up 4 with lay of hands.
Yourself?
Yeah.
She's stingy with the healing.
Oh, all right. I didn't hear that. Okay.
I didn't say it. I just used it because I have it.
All right. So good. We have a next step. It's the we'll say we're at the like I said, a little afternoon. You know, say 1-ish, 2 o'clock as the sun shows, and we are going to start the next session. Apparently, headlong, running into combat.
Maybe, or we'll talk them down.
Or maybe, hey, you guys did a remarkable job on that last one. That is not how I expected it to go, and knocking Helga on her duff and convincing her otherwise may have saved you guys a lot of heartache.
Where would the Hobgoblin Killers lead?
Well, I don't know.
Ye be friend or foe?
They were level 5, it looks like, because they had multi-attack.
Yeah. I'll just tip my hand. Helga was about to unleash something really nasty on... you guys lined yourself up just right for what her next action was going to be.
Oh, she has an AoE that she...
Yeah.
Berserker AoE or something like that.
You're saying that wasn't even her final form?
No, it was not her final form.
Mm.
So there you go. Suggestion helped.